Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the 12th round. I love the fourth quarter, I love the ninth inning, I love game 7. Bring on the competition, cause in my heart can't nobody do it better. Can't slow me down, won't stop me never. I'm so Cassius Clay, I'm Tyson in the prime.
What's up, motherfuckers, and welcome to Pressure Podcast. We are back, people? Ladies and gentlemen.
Give me a hell yeah!
This is the Thursday night edition of the Pressure Podcast, where we will discuss the N3A. For those who don't know, the N3A is what I call the NBA, the Negro 3-Point Addicts League. We're going to cover the play-in. We're going to recap that. We're also going to recap what we've seen at the end of the season as well. And we're going to make our predictions of the first round. So I said we're going to make a playoff prediction. We're just going to do the first round. Let's do it one round at a time. Okay? So we're going to make the predictions for the first round. And also we're going to talk the NBA season awards as well. All right? Today is the dawn of Good Friday. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that today. Today, a few hours ago, is where Judas kissed Jesus and betrayed him. A few hours ago. And in a few hours, Jesus will be crucified. Our Lord and Savior suffered for us to forgive our sins. Okay? For those who don't believe in Jesus Christ, I will pray for you. I'm not trying to get religious or anything here. It's just Holy Week. It's Easter week. So we have to mention that. And we will talk more on Saturday about that. But it's just a day that we commemorate our Lord and Savior for sacrificing himself for our sins, for us to be able to ascend to the Lord's kingdom. So thank you very much, Jesus. We love you and we appreciate you. Prayers out to everybody. And like I said, if you don't believe in Jesus, you don't have to comment on that. You don't have to say anything. I'll pray for you. I have no hate in my heart. But just know, he has been proven to have existed in this planet, just so y'all know. And a fair warning, if that man is real, guess who else is real down there? Okay? Because they come hand in hand. That's why I will pray for you. But yeah, Judas kissed Jesus a few hours ago, and in a few hours today is when Jesus got crucified, exactly 2,025 years ago or so, whatever that is. So, for those who are there celebrating Easter with their families, have at it. For those celebrating 420 with their families, have at it. And if you're not celebrating either or, have at it. All right. But without further ado.
You're celebrating your team making the playoffs.
Without further ado.
Have at it.
We are live from our studio in Orlando, Florida. It's your boy King Cole.
LeBron, what's up, people?
Finish him. Rated M for Millennials.
What's up, my party
The
people?
Pressure Podcast is rated M for Millennials. We are here midnight on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at Pressure Podcast Live on YouTube. Today is Throwback Thursday. The Magic advanced, the Warriors advanced, and both 10 seeds are still alive. This was a nice opening, gesture for, the 10 seeds. I actually could have guessed that. I just wanted to see the Chicago and the, and the home teams win. Chicago and Sacramento, because they, for those who don't know, obviously it's been a long time since they've been like elite. But Sacramento's old arena and Chicago's current arena and old arena when Jordan used to play are some of the loudest arenas in the N3A. But you wouldn't know it because the Chicago Bulls ain't been much, and neither have the Sacramento Kings. But that's why I kind of wanted them to advance. I'd like to see that atmosphere, whatever. But it didn't happen. The 10 seats prevail. So let's get to it. All right.
Give me a hell yeah!
Orlando, baby. Magic beat the Hawks 120-95. I won money on that game. I bet the Magic to win, but I also bet that they were not going to score over 220. And look at that. They stopped at 215. So beautiful. It's going to be Orlando versus Boston in the first round. Cole Anthony leads the Magic over Atlanta to claim the 7th seed. 26,
Get
3
out.
and 6 line off the bench. Cole Anthony. He's the son of Greg Anthony, a Nick. Well, I want to say a Nick legend, but a Nick fan favorite. People like him for some reason. Oh, I think it's because he used to get into fights a lot. New Yorkers like fighters. So, Orlando versus Boston. We got what we wanted because we live in Orlando. He's a Boston Celtics fan. He and I are going to go catch some games. We're also going to go outside and catch some fans with the Pressure Podcast, put the pressure on the fans and see what they were thinking. Give some interviews out there and have some fun. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. But what did you see from Orlando that you like?
I like that the bench showed up
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get far into the tournament, you gotta others have to show up. You can't just count on your superstars to do everything. It's not. It doesn't work for Jordan. It didn't work for Jordan. It didn't work for Kobe. It didn't work for nobody. Nobody. Listen, let me tell you, nobody. We spoke about. You spoke about this. You've been speaking to me about this for years and years. That LeBron is the best one-man army we've ever seen. I agree, because he got them there. But we saw exactly what happened when they faced a dominant team in the finals that has been there, done that. So, Celtics been there, done that, and the Magic need all the help they can get.
Yes. Now, I don't consider Orlando a one-man army. I think they're
No, absolutely,
a two-man army with help.
absolutely not.
The problem is that they're not elites yet because they're too young. However, they're a defensive-minded team.
They're on their way.
They're a well-coached team. They're a disciplined team. And they're a team that has nothing to lose. They're there to try to get more experience and keep moving and moving and moving. As you said a few seconds ago, LeBron, I did say that. LeBron is the best one-man army I ever seen. Okay? Now, when I grew up watching basketball, I saw Patrick Ewing try his best against Michael Jordan and the Bulls. He couldn't do it until Jordan retired. Ironically, Ewing is known to have made the finals both times after Jordan retired. We made it in 94 after he retired the first time, after the first three-peat, and then we made it in 99 after he retired after the second three-peat. But I also saw T-Mac, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson, even the Mamba, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, you name it. I seen them all, and they could not do what LeBron James did. Not Carmelo, nobody. Okay? This is the best one-man army I've ever seen is LeBron James. And to his point, this is what I've been talking about with the Knicks. Remember when my cousin was here, I think it was just last week?
Well, let's emphasize the difference though, because Allen Iverson did get his team there, but he didn't have a worse team than LeBron did going to the final.
No, but
So that's why I agree with you.
Yeah.
Man. He's the best.
Iverson is the best one-man army I saw before LeBron James, okay?
Yes.
He's the best one I ever saw. Now,
Absolutely.
the thing about it is, Allen Iverson actually won a game. LeBron got swept. But Shaq and Kobe or Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're dealing with
What can you do? What can you do? And then Phil Jackson on one side and Popovich on the other side. So, honestly, that's 1 and 2 right there. And any way you could put a 1A or 1B, however you want to do it.
There's nothing you can do.
But this is what I said just last week when my cousin was like, man, stop. He thought I was gloating on the Knicks because I said the Knicks probably have the best starting five in all of basketball other than the Celtics, right? And he was like, man, stop gloating on the Knicks. I didn't say it to gloat. I was just saying that the problem with the Knicks is that they have the good starting five but nothing else behind them because we don't have a bench. However, we at least have 5 guys that I know will show up in the playoffs compared to other people who don't. Okay, some teams only have 2 or 3 guys that are for sure going to show up. We'll see what role players do and don't show up as the tournament continues.
Be cool, nigga.
But
He would love to have a Cole Anthony.
But Orlando does have a bench, is the point. Orlando does have a bench, so it was good to see that. You know what I liked about Orlando? They attacked. They were not there to play around with Atlanta. Felt like the coach told them, listen, we're not here to play another play-in. We're here to advance and take the 7th seed, so let's do it.
You know who's playing really good lately on Orlando? Wack. I've been noticing he's been playing really good from both sides of the ball too. Like, not just offensively, defensively. Not really making rookie mistakes like he was last year, obviously because he was a rookie. Now he seems to be more polished. And, Jalen Suggs going down, I think that helped a lot because it forced him to have to go into that starting lineup or onto that bench to play 25, 30 minutes a game. So
Thank the good Lord. Fuck Jalen Suggs. He's a
all he,
little
does,
too.
all he does is stay hurt anyways.
All he is he's a little too zesty for me. He's a little too, I don't know, too rainbow.
Yeah, but we can't say nothing about that. Like, come on. Like, the guy could play ball.
Yeah, he can play ball. He's just zesty.
But my problem is he don't stay on the floor. He just don't stay on
My problem is that he's zesty. He's a little too, I don't know, he's a little too sweet for my taste. Big pause. But you never know. He might just be light skinned.
What the fuck? He plays defense.
Yeah, but he's also light skinned.
Finish him.
Nothing wrong with light skinned people. It's just, y'all tend to be a little bit more sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Drake. All right. What did you see from Atlanta that you did like, if any? Because I didn't see much. You can't say that they didn't give up. I think they gave up.
Rishad Shea showed me that he wasn't scared of the moment. He didn't play great, but he didn't play like a rookie either. He wasn't turning the ball over left and right. He was getting his shots up. They just weren't falling. Nothing was really falling for them. Karis LeVert didn't really have a good game, so I just there's not too much to look forward to. You just gotta hope that Trey was pissed off to the point where now he takes it out on Miami.
I actually disagree on one thing. There was not much I saw from the Hawks that I did like. However, one thing I did like is that they actually do have reason to hope for the future. The reason why is because, yeah, they got rid of a lot of like DeAndre Hunter. I don't know why they got rid of him. That made no sense to me whatsoever. But they got a good coach. They got a franchise player. They got a center. And they've got a nice little maneuverable pieces that, you know what I'm saying, you could build with. At least the Hawks aren't looking like, damn, and what are we going to do now? Who are we going to get in the draft? How are we going to get anybody in the draft? Who are we going to sign? They're not looking like that. They're going to take it day by day, but at least they know that they got draft picks. At least they know they have young and up-and-coming players who just got some playing experience, and they're not done yet. You know what I'm saying? They still got to play Friday, tomorrow, or later today. Good Friday, thank the good Lord. But at least Atlanta has reason to say, hey, it could be worse. We could look like the Chicago Bulls, who don't look like they're going nowhere. It looks like they might have to retool again. Because, yeah, they got some draft picks, but none of their players that are up and coming are really valuable like that, except maybe two.
They're not really.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe two. I only think of one, and I think that's the rookie.
Because not really. I mean, even when I seen like Kobe White, I'm over here praising him. I praised him for the last 2 years, and he just hasn't shown up in big games.
So, you know what I'm saying? The Chicago Bulls didn't look very good. And we'll speak of them so at least Atlanta, at least they have that where they don't look like they're completely lost. They look like they can actually
Not to mention,
next year.
they're missing a key piece
Yeah.
in Jalen Johnson, who I think could be one of those, his second best player. The player that he needs next to him.
Yeah. But Trae Young, in the waning minutes, as you were losing, you kind of look a little.
I smell pussy. Is that you, John?
You cannot give up on a team like that. You cannot be looking for the second technical to get bounced out of the game, because it was clear to everybody that was watching that you purposely gave up, and asked the referees to kick you out of the game, so you don't have to sit on the bench and keep watching that shit.
And that's not my only thing that he wasn't being a leader. My other thing is, bro, just because it's not going your way don't mean you gotta get frustrated. You show that frustration, and guess what? Teams pick that up and they're like, oh, this nigga get frustrated easily. So all we gotta do is get physical with him, a little physical with him. He can't handle it, and he's just gonna run off the court. That's basically what you show. That's basically what you show, bro.
Fatality.
So, need more grit, man. More grit.
Yes. So let's get to the other game. The next topic. The Warriors. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Grizzlies, as I knew they would. It's just a closer game than I expected. San Fran versus Houston now. Golden State goes up to Houston to play best of 7 series in the first round. Chef Curry and Hemi Buckets leads Golden State over the Memphis Grizzlies to claim the 7th seed. They combine for 75 total points, which is amazing.
Finish him.
And they also look like the people, the tandem that I expected to see. I told people, listen, if Chef Curry and Jimmy Butler shows up, they can beat the Lakers. If Steph Curry and Hemi Buckets show up, they can beat the Lakers. If Chef Curry and Hemi Buckets both show up, they're sweeping the Lakers. That's just how I said it, and that's what I saw because I know Chef Curry is, and I know what Hemi Butler can do in the playoffs. And let me tell you something, bro. This is dangerous. What did you see that you liked from Golden State?
Oh, what you just said. The 2 best players playing the best. The best of anybody that I seen in the play-in, basically. Like, there's nobody I can mention that. Maybe DeRozan, but not even him. Like, Steph Curry, Chef Curry, let me get that right, and Hemi Buckets were getting buckets all night. And playing defense and getting stops. doing everything. But what I didn't like was that nobody else showed up. Nobody else when
the going got hot.
When the going got hot, they just wasn't making like Perdemski. We said this, how if Perdemski shows up, oh my God, this team's scary as fuck. Like to the point where I could see them in the finals. If that Perdemski that showed up in the regular season would have shown up, in that play-in, but I didn't see none of that.
Well,
and against Houston, I didn't see none of that either.
There's an old saying: when shit hit the fan, roaches scatter, and only men go and fix it. Okay? That's not an old saying. I just made it up right now.
Goddamn, white boy.
But when shit hit the fan, Chef and Hemi settled down. Draymond Green did his thing. And, what I'm saying, the Golden State Warriors were able to pull it off. Gary Payton showed up a little bit in the fourth quarter, so those were things that I did like to see. What I didn't like is that
Gary Payton was being aggressive. I did like that.
What I didn't like is that the Golden State Warriors had a way bigger lead than that and gave it up.
That was.
That's not what I didn't like.
That was concerning as well.
But Memphis, Desmond Bain came to play. John Morant had some crucial turnovers. He was not. He's just not.
Let's give him some credit though, because he went back out there with the ankle. If we're gonna bash Trae Young for leaving the game, then we gotta respect the fact that Ja didn't quit on his team.
He didn't quit on his team, but the thing that they both have in common is that there are times when I'm saying, whether it's a regular season or not, when it's like a pressure game, it's a high stakes game. There are times where those guys show up and they basically look like Tony Parker in the playoffs. But then there are times they look like Russell Westbrook on his worst days. You know what I'm saying? Turning the ball over, stupid shot selections, can't finish at the rim at will, these kind of things.
And what's the difference between Tony Parker and John Morant and Trae Young?
That Tony Parker's consistent. Tony Parker's a better leader. He's a way better leader.
But what you just said, consistency.
Man, he's consistent.
Consistent. Yeah. That floater was.
He's way more consistent, and he's a leader. And that's the thing that I'm saying. Because Chef Curry, he's something different. So we're not going to mention him as far as point guards come playoff time. But Chris Paul's another one. When he's on his game, he looks like Tony Parker sometimes. And for those who don't remember who Tony Parker was, he was a floor general, yes. He had dribbles, he had handles, yes. He had his jump shot, yes. He hit free throws, yes. But he could also slash the basket and get timely and ones and set up his teammates. He was just an all-around good point guard that you wanted to have. He was like what Kobe wished Derek Fisher was, okay?
Finish him.
And I'm not trying to call out Derek Fisher. He was phenomenal for what he had to do in the
triangle
offense.
But one thing we can say about Chris Paul and Westbrook, the difference is that Chris Paul was always way more controlled everywhere he was going.
The thing about Chris Paul was that I didn't feel like there were times where he went ape shit, but I felt like he didn't do it enough times. Like, Chris, I know you're the
maybe
point guard.
maybe trying to get the team involved.
Yeah, but there
more.
are times that you have to take over the game. You're the best player on the floor.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that's facts.
When Tony Parker was the best player on the floor, he took advantage of it. That's all I'm saying. And he rarely was. But when he was, and
But
he
we talking about the Hornets, right?
Throwing anywhere. Chris Paul went ham with the Hornets one time against the Lakers. He went ham one time with the Rockets against, I think it was the
true,
San
the
Antonio
Rockets.
Spurs.
The Rockets.
Was it the Spurs? No, it wasn't the Spurs. I think it was
When he was with the Clippers, he went ham too.
with the Clippers too. I think it was the Clippers versus the Spurs, and then with the Rockets, it was against somebody else. I can't remember. Maybe it was Golden State. But
No.
it's just he didn't do it enough times when, you know what I'm saying, he had to answer the bell.
Like for example, Tatum, he'll have a couple games where he 20 points, 25 points, but then he'll give you the 50, and then he'll give you 25 again. But Chris Paul was more like he'll give you 35, but then the next game he'll give you 15. When you needed it the most.
Sometimes you
especially
only
if
needed
got player
20.
on the floor.
Sometimes you only needed 20 or 21, and he gave you 15 or 13. You know what I'm saying? But he gave you 12 assists.
Yeah, that's the one thing you can't hate was the fact that he did get his teammates involved, but
there are times you have to take over
Yeah.
the game, broski. It's
I feel
on you.
I feel like that was one of the main reasons why he never got to where he was trying to go, where I thought he could go.
So, what did you like about that you saw from the Grizzlies? I'm guessing is how they attempted to come back. The no, don't say die
I
mentality.
like how Bane's playing lately. He's been playing really good for the last 2 weeks.
Since we put him in the pressure.
I think Jackson made some big shots too. Jaren Jackson. I think he made some huge shots. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they stopped going to him. I don't know why they stopped going to him because I feel like Ja couldn't really get around anybody after the ankle injury, so he was just like trying to do away his jump shot, and that's just not his game. So they just stopped him from going to the paint, made him shoot over them. If he missed it, he missed it. But I think Jaren Jackson made some big shots. Aldama was good. I thought Aldama was good as well. Who else can I mention? Oh, if the Grizzlies do end up making the playoffs, by the way, Jalen Wells hasn't played, and I think that's a big piece for them too. Like I think that's a lot of their defense. So that's a big player and play for them. I know he's a rookie, but he can guard.
Be cool, nigger.
He can guard. What I liked also from the Grizzlies was that they actually started playing defense in some ways. They would, what's it called? They wouldn't trap Steph Curry, but they would bump Steph Curry. Like they'll bump him with two people so that he couldn't freely move. So you know what I'm saying?
I also noticed that when they went on that run, Ja Morant was actually on the bench.
He was on the bench.
Conchar came in and he gave them huge minutes.
Yeah, this is a good team. Like they actually have players in the roster, and believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? They're the 8th seed. I get it. They lost. I get it. They're roasted right now. I get it. But out of all these teams that I have questions on how many role players will show up, there's a lot less questions with the Grizzlies. Even when they had Kyle Anderson and Dylan Brooks, those are guys that still show up. They weren't great, they weren't elite, but believe me, you could win with guys like that. Those are guys that you would love to have in your roster come playoff time.
He just played some huge minutes in Miami
Yes,
last night. So
Kyle Anderson, yeah.
So
I mean, the Grizzlies, you know what I'm saying? They're a
everybody's
team.
gonna
They're a
be
tough
soft.
out. They're a tough out. But it's the Golden State Warriors. This is not the average 7 seed. You know what I mean? This is not the average 7 seed. It's just that they started off bad because of the trade. It ended up, you know what I'm saying, working out differently. Well, I mean, they actually didn't start off bad. They actually started off number 1 in the league. Then people, I guess, figured them out, and then they couldn't win very much until they got Jimmy Butler. Because I remember they were number 1 seed at the beginning of the season. They were the top team in the NBA, and I was like, what the hell's going on with Golden State?
it's gonna be a tough game tomorrow.
Yep.
I think because when we speak on this right now,
Segues to this one. Let's get it.
Give me a hell yeah!
Heat and Mavs will play on. These are probably the best 10 seeds in play-in history. Because let me tell you something. That doesn't actually surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. You know why it doesn't surprise me? The only reason like I said, I went for the Bulls and the Kings was because I wanted to see the old crowds from those arenas. You know what I'm saying? Because I love that. That's one of the things. That's the main reason I love sports is because of the crowd. Crowd reaction is everything for me. But there's no crowd like the fucking pandemic. That shit was washed.
Finish him.
That shit was so embarrassingly. I don't know how they played like that, but it was not the same. And you could tell that it wasn't.
It was like when they were playing baseball.
Yeah.
Did you see how they put the cutouts?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually for the bubble, what they did was they took a wall of digital and put people there, like celebrities and random people there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
So
they look like cutouts.
Yeah,
They
no,
look like
they were cutouts, but they were also digital, like webcam shit.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Too. They did a lot of shit. And ironically, these niggas had masks on, the face masks. I'm like, the fuck? But this doesn't surprise me at all because the Mavs just made the finals just last year. You know what I'm saying? They still got AD. AD played his ass off, and I knew it too. I'm like, it's Miami. I mean, I love Bam Adebayo, but nobody can stop AD except himself. But the problem is he stops himself a lot, so we get to laugh at it. Okay, but he's still gonna get his.
The one thing
and this year he's been playing phenomenal. He's beasting this year. This year is like a resurgence year. It's kind of like Giancarlo Stanton. That was a renaissance year. That's what it looked like for Anthony Davis. But
go ahead.
the Heat also are known to do these kind of things. This is not an easy team to beat. Just because they don't have Jimmy Butler out doesn't mean Eric Spoelstra is just going to roll over. This is Pat Riley shit. You see that guy back there with the slick hair? That man knows basketball. Okay, that man's been around basketball. You ever seen the movie Glory Road? Mm-hmm. It's about the first all in Texas, the first all starting 5 black college basketball team. Okay. Pat Riley played against them in the national championship game. That's how far Pat Riley goes basketball, okay? He was there against the first starting 5 all-black college basketball team. Okay? So this doesn't surprise me. And I think they're going to continue. They might just continue to win if these guys are not careful.
Now, what I was going to say is Anthony Davis does get hurt a lot, but that's during the regular season. For some reason, when he get to the playoffs, if you go look at like his track record, he don't really get hurt.
Who?
Anthony Davis. So if they do actually make the playoffs, we might see Anthony Davis beast. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sure someone Holmgren is about to like have nightmares if you say that, because that's going to be his man for the next best of 7 games. And I think Miami's going to beat Atlanta. I think Miami's a way better team than Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think that's
as of right now. Yeah.
I think Atlanta is just because Atlanta won more games.
It was all about Hero last night.
Yeah. If Tyler Hero and Bam and all them show up like you normally do, I just don't see Atlanta beating them.
Duncan Robinson.
I can see Memphis beating Dallas, though. I can actually see it, but we'll see. At least they're in Memphis. At least they're at home.
Yeah, man, I could see Memphis beat Dallas, but I could see Dallas beat Memphis too. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that game is tough. That's a tough game, bro. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be one where you apples and oranges. Yes. You pick what you want, what you like, what you prefer.
Is it just a play-in tomorrow, or is there more games? Hold on, y'all. Because if there's more games, then
nah, I think it's just a play-in, bro.
So the playoffs start Saturday?
I believe so, or Sunday. Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Saturday. We play Sunday, though.
Yes. All right. So, let's make our first round. I know we're going to say playoffs, but once again, we're going to go round step by step, okay? We're going to go with round 1 first, okay? So, let's start with the 10 and 8 seeds. Who you got in Miami versus Atlanta, and who you got in Dallas versus Memphis tomorrow or tonight?
Okay, so the one thing I saw with the Mavericks was Clay. The nigga had 22 points. If he has anything like that, I think they beat the Grizzlies. So I'm going with Dallas. And then I'm going to go with Miami. I think Miami clearly. One star, 2 all-stars, and and a Hall of Fame coach. To me, that wins. And I was dumb enough to pick Chicago.
So I'm gonna go Miami and I'm gonna go Memphis. Okay, that's what I'm gonna
I
go.
like it.
I'm gonna go Miami and I'm gonna go Memphis. All right. So let's get to the bracket. Where was it at? No, it wasn't that one. There we go. So number 7, fill it in with Orlando and Golden State. All right. And then we've got I've got Memphis at 8 and
Memphis versus OKC, right?
yes, and then Miami versus Cleveland. All right.
That's tough.
So here's my first round prediction. For OKC and Memphis, I got OKC in 5. For hold on, let me write this down. For OKC and Memphis,
Who's the tougher matchup for OKC? I know you got the Grizzlies beating the Mavs, but who's the tougher matchup for OKC?
the toughest matchup for OKC in that entire play-in would have been Golden State. After that is Memphis. After that is Dallas, and after that is Sacramento, in my opinion.
Memphis, Dallas, and Sacramento. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So then Denver Clippers. Right now, I got the Clips.
Yeah, I got the Clippers. I'm going with the Clippers too.
I got the Clippers on this one. Lakers, Minnesota.
I'm going with the Lakers.
I'm going with Minnesota.
Nigga.
I'm not hating. I just see Ant-Man as a nuisance, kind of like a villain, kind of like Trey
know what?
Young, kind of like Trey Young.
You know what? Nah, I'm going with them too because Anthony Edwards going to eat Luka. Man, this ain't even right. They better put somebody else on. And that's the thing. Like now, you can put somebody on them, and then they run a pick and roll and they switch. Why are you switching? But they do it. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota too.
You do it?
I'm going with Minnesota.
You going with Minnesota?
I'm going with Minnesota.
All right. So who you got? OKC, obviously, and then Denver Clippers. You said you have Clippers?
Yeah, I got the Clippers. Yeah.
Okay.
New head coach.
Yes.
It's tough.
LA, Minnesota. You got Minnesota now?
Yeah, I got Minnesota.
All right. Houston, Golden State. I got Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State.
All right.
Two veterans, Hall of Famers. Like, no, hell no. Yeah, Houston's a great story, and they're gonna be.
So
They're gonna be tough.
I got OKC beating Memphis 4-1 in 5 games. What do you got them winning? Golden State, OKC versus Mavs for you, because that's what you had, right?
Yeah. I'll say in 6. I feel like OKC got to prove themselves, as you've been saying. So, didn't like the first matchup versus the Lakers. What they did, I didn't like that. It didn't look like the bench showed up, you know. And then the second game, they did show up. So, let's see what we see. But I think I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna say they face adversity in this matchup because they're gonna have to face Clay, who I think, you know, he can shoot it anywhere. Like he shoot out the gym. If you catch Clay on a bad night, he'll shoot you out the gym. I swear. We've seen it. We've seen him do it. It's not like he can't do it again. If he's done it before, why can't he do it again? And Anthony Davis. I mean, he's Anthony Davis. You know what you get? Nice box of chocolates.
All right. Denver Clippers. I got them winning in six. Yeah, it's 4-2 in 6 games. So what you got, Denver Clippers?
How many games? It's gonna have to be like
6 games. I got
okay. Yeah, it's
Clippers
gonna have to.
over
It's
Denver
gonna
in
have
6
to. It's gonna have to be 5 or 6. It's gonna have to be 5 or 6 because Denver is.
So,
at
but
home.
choose one.
Huh?
Choose one.
No, I'm going with Clippers.
Yeah,
But,
but
I'll say 6. I'll say 6.
6?
I'll say 6. Yeah, 6. 6 sounds about right.
all right.
Denver's not just gonna fold.
Lakers, Minnesota. What you got?
Minnesota at home is 6. Would that be home? That'd be home, right?
Yeah. In 6.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they're winning in LA.
I got them winning in LA, 4-7, 4-3. It's a 7-game series.
Oh hell, you're bugging. If that shit goes game 7, the refs won't even allow them to win.
Well, hold on. Let me put the camera on. Last year, this man upset the Denver Nuggets, send them packing, and the Phoenix Suns send them packing.
This is true.
And he was doing the cross chop.
But he gonna do the king like that?
Hey, I'm just saying, he if that's his reputation, that's his reputation. That's a trend. That's not just a one-time off thing. He did it 2 times in a row. He wasn't supposed to win those series. He was not supposed to win those series. He ain't supposed to win against LA. I was gonna pick LA until I remember, oh shit, it's Ant-Man. Okay?
He's like that.
So let's get back to it. Houston, Golden State. I got Golden State in 6.
Let's say go 7.
7 games.
I say experience wins even on the road.
All right. Now to the Eastern Conference. So I got Cleveland versus Miami.
Cleveland versus Miami.
Yeah, what you got? We both got Miami going to the 10th seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 8th seed.
Yep.
So who you got in what's how
I'm
many
gonna say
games?
Cleveland in 5.
Cleveland in 5. I'm gonna say Miami in 7. Boston or Orlando?
Sorry. Let me get mine. Okay.
Goddamn, white boy.
Boston.
Cool, nigga.
Boston in 5.
All right. I got Boston in a sweep.
Bendito dale uno.
Nah.
I gotta be humble, man. I can't just say like, come on.
New York, Detroit.
New York, Detroit, sweet.
I got
New York.
4-2. I got
My
a
bad.
6-game series.
I'm
I
bugging.
wish.
I'm
I
bugging.
wish.
New York, sweet.
All right.
Bro, Detroit's a nice team, but they ain't. This is different.
Yeah.
This is a whole different monster. The Knicks been there, they done this, so they know how to. They have the experience. Like with Orlando, the reason why I give Orlando a game is because they actually do have experience. They have gone to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Detroit ain't never been here.
Gotcha. All right. And then how about Indiana, Milwaukee?
Indiana, Milwaukee. Indiana sweet.
Oh, dang. I got Indiana, but in a 7-game series. I just want 3 7-game series in the first round. That's what I want. I'm asking for too much.
You telling me to count on Porter, Kevin Porter Jr.,
Hell no.
the woman beater, and the sidekick, and Kuzma? That's what you got going. Game 7? Hell no.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
The reason I got
Getting the fuck
Miami
outta
over
here.
Cleveland is
They
because
can't
my
hang.
boy is a Cavaliers fan, and I will love nothing more than to see a 10 seed kick their ass out of the fucking
How
first
crazy
round.
would that be?
And if there was ever a 10th seed or an 8th seed that would ever do that to my boy, it would be Miami. So I hope Tyler Hero and Duncan and everybody else and
Damn, I can't believe we gotta face each other in the second round. We could have fucking.
It's all good.
Eastern
I
Conference
just
Finals.
I just hope that Miami goes in there and wins the first two at Cleveland. If they do that, this is a 7-game series and they're winning. They're winning. Unless they sweep the Cavs, which I won't see that happening. But I hope Miami goes into Cleveland and literally steals both home games.
Damn,
That would be awesome. They'll go split 1-1.
If they split, that's all. Oh, that's what you're saying? You're saying split?
They go back home 2-0. Okay, Miami up
All right,
2-0.
okay.
They split at home, so now they're up 3-1 when they go back to Cleveland, where Cleveland's gonna win. Then they're gonna either win Game 6 or win Game 7, because I don't think Cleveland will ever win 2 games in a row against Miami. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the only gamble I'm taking. All the other ones I'm actually for
You've
real.
heard it here.
Yes, this is a gamble.
Live.
Obviously, this is a gamble. This is not what I actually predict. This is just a gamble because my boy talks too much shit. So fuck him, and this is what we're gonna do. All right. So let's get to the regular season awards. All right.
Okay.
So give me your 6th man of the year.
Peyton Pritchard. Crypto.
Yes.
That's what I got. I mean, he's just killed it all year and
Give me your most improved.
most improved. Who did I say most improved was? That I really liked. Damn, that's tough. I go with Wagner.
Okay.
I go with Wagner.
I go with Franz Wagner too.
I think Wagner.
And Crypto P for 6th man of the year. All right. Who's the coach of your year for you?
OKC's coach. Forget his name.
I agree.
I noticed he didn't even get a vote. Well, I think it was Chris Broussard or something.
Yeah.
He said he didn't even put him on there. I was like,
No, listen, this is the ascension of a team that's trying to take aim for a title. Okay? For the first
so
time.
This
This is we don't know yet because the playoffs just began. We don't know yet. But this is the makings of either like the 1991 Chicago Bulls that finally got through the Pistons. This is the let's say the 2010 Miami Heat that finally got through the Celtics. This is the 2007 Cavaliers that finally got through the Pistons again, the Bad Boys. Number 2. This is Kobe and Shaq the first year that when they went against the Portland Trailblazers and finally won their first title against the Pacers. This is the makings of the Golden State Warriors when they first started going hand with Steve Kerr and got to the finals. Almost lost to LeBron. This has some makings like that, okay? And I'm pretty sure that in every single one of those seasons, more than likely, the coach of the year was the number 1 seed, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, because these guys have the exact same records that Kobe and Shaq had, Michael Jordan and Pippen had. These guys exalted to another level of elite to make sure, guarantee, like Charles Barkley likes to say,
Be cool, nigger.
to get home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs, not just the Western Conference. You know what I'm saying?
my thing with OKC is all the metrics are on their side. The stats, they're number 1 in offense and number 1 on defense. Now my thing is, every team since the NBA has been keeping these stats has gone at least to the Eastern or Western Conference Finals. If they don't do that, they'd be the first team to have those stats and not make it. So
All right. Rookie of the year?
they better. I'm going with Castle.
Yep, I think that's easy.
I think I'm going with Castle, but I mean, I wish this guy would have stayed healthy because I thought he was going to kill it.
Yes.
Jared McCann. Shout out Jared McCann.
Defensive player of the year for you?
Still Wimby.
Mine's Josh Hart. Fuck everybody else. But Mobley's going to win it.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going with Wimby.
To me, it's Josh Hart. It ain't even close. All right, and who's the MVP?
That's GA.
We already said it months ago. All right, and I guess there's an award, Clutch Man of the Year.
Ooh, I like that one. I'm going Ant.
All right, I'm going with Jalen Brunson. To me, it's a no-brainer. Bet. All right.
Let's see what happens there. That's gonna be a tough one. I ain't gonna lie.
So we're starting to lag here. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
It's just a bad connection, I'm guessing. Let's close it with the NBA playoff first round and play-in tower rankings, okay? So give me your top 10 teams.
All right, I'm gonna run them off real quick. We got Miami
At 10,
Indiana,
at 9,
Clippers. What the fuck?
8,
Houston,
gotcha.
Be cool,
Golden
nigga.
State,
At 6,
Lakers, 5. Knicks, 4.
at 4,
Cavs, 3. 2. OKC, and 1. Celtics.
Give me a hell yeah!
it's actually very similar. Let's get to the tower ranking, shall we? Now, we're rated M for millennials, so when we do this millennial style, all right? And one style I like to do is video games. Video games, back in the day, had no save profile or save progress abilities. We had to start from the bottom every single time, and Mortal Kombat was the best one at it. So let's get it.
Finish him.
At the bottom of the tower, big pause, we got the Minnesota T-Wolves and Ant-Man, who's just, like he said, the clutch player of the year for him and number 2 for me. Then you got the LA Clippers. I got them at number 9 because I just don't trust them. I trust the coach and nothing else. I don't trust James Harden. I don't trust Kawhi Leonard. I have no reason to. And I make my power rankings as of the tournament, which starts today, which it's going to. And also, if my life depended on it, if I had to put my life and say that this is the order I want a team to go through to spare my life, to me, these are the best 10 teams in this exact order, okay? Then I got the Indiana Pacers, okay? The fastest paced team in the league, and they obviously live up to their name, but they're very, very good at shooting threes as well. Then I got the Houston Rockets after that. The Houston Rockets are the youngest team on this tower, but they're also the best defense on this tower, so they deserve a lot of credit. Well coached as well. Then at 6, like you, I have Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are the most elite team not in the to not have won 50 games to me. And then, not to mention, they got Chef Curry and playoff Hemi right now. After that, I got the Los Angeles Lakers. They are a force to be reckoned with because they've got 2 of the best players of all time in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. All right, it's just what it is.
Finish him.
Then you got the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks, like I always said, they have the best starting 5 in the league outside of Boston, but they have nothing else. However, that starting 5 is phenomenal. And we've got, to me, the most clutch player in the NBA. And after that, you got Cleveland, who's the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, but I don't know. They just don't scare nobody. I said that weeks ago. They just don't scare nobody. They're just a good team to be dealt with. I'm not saying they're soft, but they're just something that, I don't know, they get a little...
Be cool,
Yeah, that
nigga.
Griffin, actually, they interviewed him, asked him about what he thinks about the playoffs, and he said, what's easy for the East is Boston. That's literally what he said. He's like, the Cavs had a good year, but Boston... I'm just saying, they say it. I'm not saying it, guys. I'm not saying it. I'm giving y'all a little more respect than that, but I do think it's still Boston.
At number 2, I got the number 1 team in the West and the number 1 team in the entire league right now in the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the reigning and should be MVP. And then after that, we have the reigning champions, the defending champions, the number 1 actual team, the team that's most loaded, the team that's just absolute talented, and they also are shrewd operators, disciplined. It's just there's nothing they don't have. There's nothing they don't have, and they're not going to be lollygagging anymore. This is the best team in the league, and that's the tower rankings for the first round, play-in, and playoffs of the 2025 N3A season. Let's get it, baby.
Give me a hell yeah!
Yeah.
It's gonna get ugly.
All right, y'all. We're still lagging here, so we're going to sign out. We'll be back on Saturday to recap the first round and the 10th seed games against the 8th seed. We will make our predictions as well for the upcoming games based on what we see in the first. All right? So we'll see you then at midnight. Appreciate y'all. Please leave a like, subscribe, comments, give us your takes, and we'll see you then, motherfuckers.